Okay, let's start with a different attack called route advertisement flood. It is actually happened when the attacker overwhelmed the connected host by sending a massive amount of array messages to the network. Since the array messages need to be processed in the victim machines or the machines that are connected to the same network where the attacker is connected to. These machines need to process the messages. Therefore, if it is a kind of, for example, resource constrained devices like IoT, it will be uh, having like a high impact on the performance, and it could lead to shutting down the devices itself if it run out of resources. So accordingly, also for normal devices, it may result in disturbing the network since array will carry also prefixes. So if it carries random prefixes, that means if the client use any of the prefixes or use any of the IP addresses in that particular prefixes, it may lead to be blocked from the internet, and it can result in a DOS attack, for example. So let's go ahead and check the existing network that we have, existing situation that we have in our lab here. We check the account, the client has the IP address, normal, everything it looks normal. And in the attacker machine, we will be able to perform the attack, and it is quite straightforward. But let's check the routing table right now in the client machine auto show, and we can see that everything looks normal and everything looks perfect. So how we can perform the attack? The attack is we are going to use a tool called Flood Router 26, and it is part of the Hacker Choice toolkit. ATK 6 flood flood underscore router 26, and then we have to mention the interface where the attackers will start sending the fake array or the flood of the array. So it will start sending huge amount of arrays. Then let's start the attack, and let's check again the interface of the client over here, and we can see that the client is already has thousands of IP addresses, maybe hundreds of IP addresses, does not belong to the legitimate prefix that the client supposed to join. So actually the attack will start sending 1000 buckets every single second. And that's really huge amount of array. Let's stop the attack, and we can feel that also there is a delay here over here. And if we try to check the routing table of the client, and we can see that also the client has maybe 1000 2000 new next hub, and all of these are actually is a default route. All of these are default route due to the attack. And if we looked at the IP addresses that the client has right now due to the attack, it is really a lot of IP addresses, a lot of IP addresses. So if the client, for example, try to reach any external network uses any of these IP addresses, it may be blocked because the the routers in between it may have anti-spoofing techniques enabled. Therefore, it can recognize whether this IP address is actually supposed to come from this part of the network, the segment of the network, or not. So accordingly, RF flood, it can disturb the network, it can lead to DOS attack, and it can lead to shutting down resource constrained devices such as IoT. Um, Thank you.